Hey guys, my name's Jaro, and I'm going to show you how to do the host skip. The host skip is a way that you can skip pillars once you get to commencement and go right to Mithrix. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because, although the host skip is a pretty well-known thing in the game now, it's very reliable for skipping the pillars, which is a very tedious and slow part of getting to the final boss. There's a lot of bloat around the topic. There's a lot of things people say you have to do that you don't. It's actually very simple. So what you want to do is you want to get to the soups here and find this spike. Now before I go on, let me explain there's a couple requirements here. One, you have to be immune to fall damage in some way. So one way you can do this is by playing Loader. She is by default immune to fall damage. Or you can have a specific item or items that'll help you. One being Head Stompers or Headset, the legendary item that makes you immune to fall damage. It could be Safer Spaces, which is this void item right here, that gives you an immunity shield every 15 seconds, scaling with stacks, and which is fine because you'll hit the ground when it regenerates, so don't worry about it. And then lastly, you could have the lunar item Transcendence, which replaces all your health with a shield, and because of how the system works with fall damage, it'll make you immune to fall damage. You also need to have enough speed to do this, which usually isn't an issue on your runs. I'm going to let you know ahead of time, I don't think I have enough speed for this one here, but you'll be able to see how to do it and understand very well what you need to do. So, once again, the host skip is a lot less complicated and bloated as you might think. What you need to do is find this spike here, behind the soups. When you're on the spike, you should be able to look straight down at this giant pillar here. If you're over here, you're too far to the left. If you're over here, you're not really on a spike, so it's not where you need to be. You need to be right here. Okay, so what you need to do is quite simple. You're going to jump in the hole. So you need to be close. You need to be between this ridge right here and this floating rock. But you need to be closer to this ridge than the rock. And you'll see what I mean. I also find it best to be more to the left of this hole. Because whenever you're falling, you need to keep your cursor all the way down and focused on this beam right here. Lastly, when you're falling, you need to keep an eye out on this band. It's a little hard to see from here, but I'll show you as I'm falling. So what you want to do is get yourself positioned about right here, and then once you're about there, you want to stop moving. Okay? So I'm right here, I'm not moving. Okay, I'm just falling. And then when this ring, you can see right here, gets about right there, maybe a little higher, just start walking forward. Just walking, that's all. And then you'll fly up in the air. With this time that you're in the air, don't bother looking around, figuring out where you need to be. Go exactly back where you were, look down, look at the pipe, start walking forward at the right time. Now, I'll just say, you'll probably mess up the first couple times, and that's okay. That's part of the learning curve. You usually don't need to worry about monsters. They usually won't hit you, and I haven't ever had that issue. You just need to focus on getting right back here. Now you can see where I am right now. I barely clipped the edge there. I might not have enough speed for this. So you might not see the complete success in this video, but the beautiful thing is a lot of characters in this game do not need to have it perfectly done. It doesn't need to be perfectly executed. See, because Loader can just do something like this, and then boom. Now you should know that Artificer and Multi cannot perform this jump right here. They cannot do this momentum skip, because that's just coded differently how momentum works for them. And also, when it comes to having something that makes it so you don't take fall damage, it can't change your momentum. And during these jumps, you don't want to change your momentum either. So that means when you're getting up, you don't want to use your Hopu Feather, you don't want to use Huntress Shift, you don't want to use just anything that changes your momentum, because that'll mess up the whole thing and you'll have to start over. You can do these things at the height of your jump to give yourself more momentum falling back down, however. So if you're at the peak of your jump, you can feather a little bit more, and that'll give you just a little bit more oomph next time you come back up. So I'm going to perform this one more time. And I'm just going to use this. This might make me go right in the hole. Alright, we didn't go in the hole. Let's go. Alright, so we're here on the spike. There's monsters. We're not going to worry about them. I'll zap that one. We're just going to jump right in the hole, get about right here, and then stop moving. Look at the ring on the right of the screen. It's almost up. We start moving, and instantly we get back to position. This is also more important the farther up you get, in case you don't quite have enough speed to get over the hump by yourself without using abilities. Okay, another successful jump. We're instantly coming back up. Now you can sprint. You don't. The reason I'm just keeping it as you just stand still and then you walk is because that's all you have to do. You can sprint here if you want, but it can make the timing a little bit more difficult. If your character doesn't need it, I would stick to just walking. That also just gives you less steps in your head. You'll hear other older host skip videos say that you need to turn around at a specific time, and you need to sprint, and you need to make sure that the time is exactly midnight, and all this stuff, and it's probably just because no one bothered to see how much that's true. So, you know, you can't blame anyone. You'll see even pros using that. So I hope this is something that even pros can watch and learn a little thing from. But other than that, once again, Loader, Head Stompers, Safer Spaces, or Transcendence, if you have any of these, you can perform this jump. You need a little bit of speed or some way in your kit to get over the hump, and you can't be Artificer or Multi. The speed usually won't be a factor if you're just, you know, just playing to play, because you'll probably have enough goat hooves and energy drinks to begin with. So, just to clarify one more time, you can sprint pretty much at any point of this. It might change the flow of this, and I do recommend sprinting as soon as you bounce back up, just so you can get in position faster. But the takeaway points are: you jump in the hole, you get close to the ridge, between the ridge and the floating rock. You just wait, stare, cursor down in the center of the pole, wait for that ring on the right of your screen to get about 3/4, a little higher than that, of the way up the screen, and then you just walk forward. You can sprint, you can walk. I would recommend testing with walking first. And then just get right back into position until you can perform the jump again with more momentum this time, until you're finally up here, ready to take on Mithrix. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.